I first realized something was wrong when I came home one evening and found my living room window open. Not wide, just an inch, like someone was careful not to leave a trace. I convinced myself it was me. Maybe I forgot. Maybe the wind. Then it happened again and again. Small things. A drawer slightly ajar. Mail shifted on the table. The sense of being observed. I installed a basic security camera inside, facing the backyard windows. I set motion alerts. My plan was simple. If something happened while I was at work, I'd know. 3 days later, the alert activated. I opened the live feed. A figure moved outside the window, crouching near the glass, filming inside my house. It was the HOA president, Ms. Dalton. She looked like a burglar trying to be a ninja and failing miserably. My hands tightened as I watched her move from window to window, pressing her face against the glass, trying to see inside. She wasn't checking property. She was spying, searching for something, or trying to create a violation that didn't exist. I confronted her the next day in the open with neighbors outside. "What were you doing behind my house?" I asked. She lifted her chin, voice full of arrogance. "I was conducting an exterior inspection. You signed an agreement with the HOA. We ensure compliance." "You looked inside my window," I said. "Exterior view into interior behavior is also important for community standards." That sentence told me everything I needed to know. She believes she owned us, owned our privacy, owned our lives. I said, "If you step onto my property again without permission, I'll call the police." She smiled. "Good luck proving anything." That night, I upgraded the cameras. Motion tracking, high definition, audio recording, and infrared. This time, when she returned, I would have proof. 2 nights later, she came back, and I caught every second. The next morning, I filed a police report. Then I prepared the trap, not just to catch her, but to expose her. She wanted to spy on me. Then she could enjoy all the attention in the world. The footage was perfect. Audio, video, time-stamped. Dalton creeping through my yard like a prowling raccoon, peeking through blinds, taking photos of my belongings, muttering to herself about non-standard behavior and "I'll find something." I printed screenshots, loaded copies to a USB drive, forwarded files to the sheriff's office. Then I planned phase 2, public exposure. I asked the HOA to add my item to the meeting agenda, resident concern regarding privacy violations. They had no idea what was coming. Before the meeting, I handed a copy of the footage to one of the board members who privately hated Dalton. His reaction confirmed I had a bomb ready to drop. The night of the meeting, the room filled quickly. Residents arrived exhausted from work, frustrated with petty fines, ready to complain about Dalton's leadership. She stood at the front table like a dictator behind a podium. "We must all obey the community guidelines," Dalton preached. "Some residents are not cooperating and may face suspension of privileges." My turn came. I calmly plugged the USB into the projector. The first image hit the screen. Dalton's face pressed against my window like she was searching for buried treasure inside my living room. The room fell silent. I played the footage. Gasps spread across the room like a wave. Dalton's complexion turned ghostly pale. Her voice trembled. "This is taken out of context," I interrupted. "This is trespassing. This is harassment. This is illegal surveillance."
A neighbor stood. "You looked in my windows too." Another raised her hand. "She took pictures of my laundry." Voices erupted. People shouted. The board slammed their fists to restore order. Dalton tried to flee the room, but the sheriff stepped in from the doorway. He had seen the footage earlier that afternoon. He wasn't amused. "Miss Dalton," he said, "I need you to stay. We have questions." She tried to laugh it off. "I am the HOA president. I have rights." The sheriff's voice cut through the chaos with precision. "You have no right to invade someone's home privacy." Dalton finally realized she was cornered. I had the truth. I had the evidence. I had the entire community watching. Dalton was escorted out that night for questioning. Not arrested, not yet, but held accountable for the first time. The HOA board scrambled to contain the disaster. Emergency votes, constitution reviews, residents demanding immediate leadership change. I filed a civil claim for invasion of privacy and harassment. Several neighbors joined me in a combined complaint. Dalton's attorney argued she had security responsibilities, but the sheriff's written report destroyed that defense in one sentence. The accused acted with surveillance intent, without permission, and outside the jurisdiction of HOA authority. The court granted a restraining order. Dalton could no longer step foot near my property, or any windows for that matter. Meanwhile, the HOA board appointed interim leadership, and guess who they asked to serve as a consultant on privacy reforms? The very homeowner she tried to intimidate. At the next meeting, residents filled every chair. I stood where Dalton once stood. Privacy is not optional, I said. Community does not mean control. Compliance does not require surrender. The crowd applauded, not politely, powerfully. Dalton was officially removed from position. Every violation she ever filed was reviewed, and many were overturned, fines refunded, rules rewritten, and a new bylaw added: no HOA representative may approach or observe any residential window or interior without the owner's formal and written consent. A rule created because Dalton refused to respect boundaries. A rule that would protect others long after I was gone. The case settled in mediation. Dalton paid damages, not a fortune, but a visible consequence. She moved away quietly a month later. No goodbye post, no ceremony, no legacy, just silence. The silence of a spy who finally understood that other people's privacy is not her territory. The camera still sits in my living room, not because I expect Dalton to return, but because I learned something important. Trust must be earned and protected. The neighborhood feels different now. Not tense, not fearful, but finally free from the paranoia she created. People wave, doors stay open longer, kids play outside without someone lurking behind blinds and notepads. One evening, a new board member stopped by with a folder. Inside was a certificate, Community Appreciation Award for Protecting Resident Rights. I didn't need recognition, but I accepted it for the message it represented. No one owns our privacy but us. As I sat on the porch later that night, I thought about how easily power can corrupt small people with big rules. Dalton's story became a warning. The HOA exists to protect a neighborhood, not control it. Before heading inside, I looked at the window where she once pressed her face like a predator searching for prey. Now, the blinds were open. The house was full of light, and every corner was safe. Because I fought back. Because I exposed the trespasser hiding behind authority. Because privacy is not negotiable. Dalton tried to watch me through my own windows, but in the end, the whole neighborhood saw her for who she really was.
I didn't just take back my privacy. I defended everyone else's too. The camera blinked once as if nodding in agreement. Case closed.